China is anxious for India to endorse the OBOR initiative. What is the Belt and the Road? Why is OBOR so important for China? What has China committed to OBOR? What changed for China to adopt a new strategy? How China is going to implement OBOR. GS Paper 2, India and its Neighbourhood Relations. What is the context about? China's proposed meeting in Beijing in mid-May this year is as much to showcase its strategic geo-economic initiative of One Belt, One Road, OBOR. China's One Belt, One Road, OBOR, initiative is a grand Chinese vision that seeks to link production centers in China with markets and natural resource centers around the world, through a China-built communications artery. Beijing is keen to have India come aboard this new economic initiative, warning that otherwise it would become isolated. What is the Belt and the Road? The strategy aims to connect Asia, Europe, and Africa, particularly the developing East Asia Economic Circle at one end and developed European economic regions at the other. The belt refers to the Silk Road economic belt, which comprises 3 overland routes, connecting China, Central Asia, Russia and Europe, linking China with the Persian Gulf and the Mediterranean Sea through Central Asia and West Asia, and connecting China with Southeast Asia, South Asia and the Indian Ocean. The road refers to the 21st century maritime Silk Road designed to push trade from China's coast to Europe through the South China Sea and the Indian Ocean in one route, and from China's coast through the South China Sea to the South Pacific in the other. Why is OBOR so important for China? Experts maintain that OBOR is China's blueprint for economic diplomacy, and its strategy to begin a second phase of opening up. Experts also believe China felt isolated, considering it is not involved with G7, and is limited to the BRICS countries. They say China needed another window to continue its economic expansion, and OBOR fits the bill. What has China committed to OBOR? It has committed a total of about $100 billion to 3 new infrastructure funds, a $40 billion fund to the Central Asia-focused Silk Road Fund, a $50 billion fund to a new Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, AIIB, and a $10 billion fund to the BRICS-led New Development Bank. What changed for China to adopt a new strategy? With a global slowdown, China needed a new model of development to maintain its spectacular economic success story. Shift in US policy after Donald Trump's victory, and the rise of protectionist tendencies in the West, has resulted in shrinking markets, while investments in China have gradually reduced due to rising labor costs, increased traffic on roads, and air pollution and environment concerns. Experts also believe consumption in China has decreased with slower growth of the middle class. How China is going to implement OBOR. At its core, OBOR would need the eastern, developed, parts of China to trade with the US and developed countries, while the central and western provinces, which have witnessed minimal growth, will feed Asia's developing countries. However, a major roadblock for OBOR at present is the lack of infrastructure in South and Southeast Asia to foster trade. China hopes to work with interested countries and improve connectivity of their infrastructure construction plans and technical standard systems. OBOR also requires the construction of international trunk passageways and an infrastructure network connecting all sub-regions in Asia, and between Asia, Europe, and Africa.